Hello friends, Mali Pompadit here, CEO of the SOAR Community Network and co-founder of the SOAR Community Nebula. We are introducing you to 1,000 community champions this year, and our very favorite person in the whole wide world, Miss Mayma Carmo, is with us today. Thank you so much for being a part of our initiative, Mayma.
Thanks for having me. I'm so proud of you and so thankful to be able to share on this platform. I think you're amazing. I adore you, and I just love seeing you soar into bliss.
Mayma, we like to start the interview with having you tell our audience a little bit more about you and the work that you do in the world.
Let's see. So, at heart, I'm a lover. I love for a living. That's kind of what I was born to do. And I didn't know how to do that because there's no handbook or no, credentials or no college, you know, um, college curriculum
Curriculum?
how to be a lover for a profession. So I kind of stumbled into my work. I really love to write because I found that I could express myself through my writing. And I've always done that. And I've always had a relationship with God, whatever you call God, in terms of asking what my path was in life and asking him or her to show me how to use my gifts and talents in the best way possible. So I'm an immigrant, came to the States as a refugee when I was 15, and I worked to build the American dream. I worked really hard, multiple jobs as a teenager and all through my young adult life. And when I finally thought I'd made it and I had the dream, I had it in my hand. I had the job and the car and the house and salary. I learned I had aggressive breast cancer. And that really put things in perspective for me. I realized I was living from a place of ego, of what I thought I should be, who I thought I should be, and not from a heart space. And so when you're faced with death, something really powerful happens. It makes everything laser focus and very clear. And I ended up leaving my job, which was, six-figure salary to do something that hadn't been done before and to make an impact in the breast cancer space, being a young adult African American immigrant single mother with no degree in that kind of work. And something really magical happened when I stepped into my place and my passion, my place where I thought God wanted me to be. Um, the girl I was before, I thought she was defined in this box of, I'm working as a government contractor, working 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, and this is what I'm capable of doing. These things here. And when my self restraint fell away and I asked God to fill me up and show me my purpose and passion, not only did I begin my nonprofit organization, Tiger Lily, but um, I began to really become immersed and surrounded by people that were like me who wanted to love for a living and who wanted to learn how to love for a living. And we could help young women who were patients going through breast cancer, which was so powerful for me and what I wanted to do to create programs, education, policy. And when you have to build your own business, as many of you who are watching know, you have to learn you're the cook, you're the sweeper, you're the dishwasher, you're everything. And so I learned to utilize all my magical talents like marketing, PR, branding, organizational development. And so that's Tiger Lily is my baby. But then I learned I had other babies to create. I learned that women who were struggling through breast cancer want to have hope and they needed to have a plan for life after breast cancer. And people in other parts of life struggled as well. And so people would reach out to me to help them figure out how to navigate life after a challenge, whether it was cancer or otherwise, or even entrepreneurs who were in a job where they were stuck or felt stuck and didn't know how to leap from day job to passion. And so that kind of got me into a life of being a coach. And so I began to coach people. And then I began having my clients on my podcast. And so I became a podcaster and a blogger. And then I realized that at the end of the day, we all want to share our stories in a powerful way. And how do we do that? How do we help others share their stories and release their release the things I held them captured in the past. And so I had a friend of mine who'd gone through some really challenging times share with me her stories, and some other friends began to share. And then she lost a really dear friend to suicide, and it really catapulted my work into a more deeply authentic space, because people are going through things where they're lonely and scared. And so I began to look at, not how do I help people just be happy, but how do I help people to be true to who they are, where they are, wherever they are. If they're up or down, how do I help them to feel connected and not alone? And so I launched these workshops called I Manifest Bliss, which changed into I Manifest into Manifest, because we're all going through different periods of our lives and different situations and feelings. And so Manifest is really about stepping into your life as the truth of who you are, no matter where you are, without labels, and being with people who are light workers and love workers that can help you to transcend and grow. So in a nutshell, I am a nonprofit CEO. I love to create new things to help women achieve health equity and people who are underserved, facing disparities, to have a voice. I'm a para woman, and people, children. I have a newfound passion for people going through mental health challenges, as many of my friends have gone through things. I'm a blogger, a writer, a speaker, but most importantly, I'm a lover of people. And I think that's it in a nutshell.
Great. Thank you so much, Maymer, for all the work that you do. One of the next questions I would like for you to address is examples of times in your life or people in your life, perhaps, who may have shown you some extra love, empathy, compassion, who mentored you and guided you to be the woman that you are today.
Well, I know someone like that. I have several friends who've been amazing mentors and friends. I mean, the first person I could think of right now is my mom, who has been the one that gave me a foundation for who I am. Sometimes our parents, we may think, well, our parents are this and that, or they make us like nuts, or we like this about them or not that thing. But our parents are people who are learning how to live, and they're giving us the best they can give us at the time. My mom gave me an awesome foundation in terms of trusting my instinct, knowing myself, and she just loves me, like she loves the hell out of me. She loves me, she supports me, and even when she can't understand what I'm doing, because I'm always doing different things, and she's like, "What are you doing now?" She loves me, and she's always there. Another person that's been there for me, that's helped me to see myself, is you, Mali. Having you in my life has been very instrumental. It's so important to have people in your life that believe in you when you can't see yourself, that can see you ahead of yourself. When you think you're like this small, they're like, oh my God, no, you're out of the stratosphere. And having you as a friend has been really, really instrumental and life changing. Just having that foundation, again, that layer of warm love, I got you, babe, and I believe in you, is priceless. I have so many friends who've been there. My friend Debbie Jo Wheatley is amazing. She's another person who's a rock, just always there, and she's very consistent. She never wavers, and I think that's so important, to have friends that don't waver. My girlfriend Dawn has been like that. In my breast cancer work, my friend Ray Bridgewater, he's somebody who discovered my crazy dreams when I first got in the breast health field, and no one knew who I was, and people weren't willing to give me a chance sometimes. And he said, you have a different look on things, and he supported me, and he helped to groom me and teach me so much. I can't count all the people that have been there for me. My daughter is at the top of all my lists, because there are those who sacrifice for you to become who you are, and she's done that. I remember my daughter being 3 years old and 4 years old when I was building Tiger Lily and my other businesses and all the things I do, playing on the floor while I worked, until midnight, not wanting to go into her bedroom because she wanted to be close to me, to love me while I was building our dream. And she would be with me in the room, in my office, on the floor sleeping while I work till 2, 3, 4, or 5 in the morning. So there's that silent love, the love that says, I got you, whatever you're doing. I don't have to even know. Like she was so little, but she never questioned me. She never left my side. And she is the person who sacrificed the most, to help me and to be with me when I traveled. And so I think it's just important to have a group of women or men that believe in you, that you can go to for mentorship and support. My friend Bruce Van Horn has been a beautiful spiritual leader for me and leader and my best guy friend now. So there are many people and I can't name them all. So don't get mad at me, guys, but you know who you are. So thank you.
When you think of change makers and community builders, and of course you're one of them, or we wouldn't be featuring you on this series. The people that you surround yourself with that you really think of as community builders, what attributes come to mind when you think of their character, their unique stance in the world?
I think they see the big picture. Um, a lot of people may have a dream or maybe community-based leaders, but they kind of maybe see a small picture. People who really are dynamic see the entire picture of life. They see things further than other people, like further than the average eye can see. They see things further, they see people further, they see vision further, they see situations further. Some people are like arguing over something small or something that's not there. Leaders don't see obstacles. We don't see little things. We see the beyond what the eye can see. We see beyond time. We see beyond, what the human eye can observe. Um, they also are consistent. People think that sometimes success happens magically. People often call me and say, "Can you tell me how you got this or how you accomplished that?" And they kind of want me to give them this template. And I always say, I can give you a template, but you have to do the work. You have to have the resilience. You have to have the vision to overcome and bypass storms. You have to be able to be told no 10,000 times and keep getting up, a million times. You have to be able to fall apart and then get up and have the faith. And so there's the vision, there's commitment, there's persistence. My fourth grade teacher told me one day, she said, when I was really fourth grade, she said, "I think you have a lot of perseverance in you." And I remember saying to her, "What does that word mean?" But that word has been a cornerstone for what I think a leader is. And most often and mostly over all those is, again, I come back to love and compassion for other people, because when you think you're done or you're tired or you're overwhelmed or it's too much work, and realize who you're born to help, that feeling of love and compassion and commitment can surpass all the other feelings. And so those are my key words in a nutshell.
That's fantastic. Well, you answered the next question already, on how you utilize your gifts, your talents, your life experiences to give back. Obviously, it's through Tiger Lily Foundation and all the incredible work you do with Manifest. So I want to move into the next question, which is, when life does get you down, and it does get you down, it gets us all down, when
Yeah.
times are really, really, really tough, what do you hold on to? Is there a philosophy, a motto, or a quote that gets you back up and pushes you forward during those tumultuous times?
I don't know if there's one quote. My house is surrounded with, you see my house, there's posters in my bathroom on the mirrors, vision boards in the bathroom, windows, sills. There's so many reminders of why I should move forward. I always think of this, though. I think about my life in reverse. I think about um, when I look back, when I'm, 2,000 years old and I'm still alive and I'm on my deathbed, how do I want my life to read out? How do I want to reflect on it? Do I want to have regrets about wasting time on things that weren't important, or like anger, or just menial things? Or do I want to look back and when I count up my time, have that time matter? So when things knock me down, I have a badass self-care toolkit. I just love on myself. I let myself rest. I let myself feel what I'm feeling. I honor myself when I'm, up or when I'm down. I learn from both. They're amazing friends that I have in my space that when I can't love myself sometimes, or I'm too tired or overwhelmed or depressed or scared, they love me back until I get back to where I am. And I always ask myself, what would God want me to do? Like, when I get up in the morning, my first prayer is like, how does God want me to live that day? And I try to be present in the moment. And so when I catch myself rushing through the day or feeling overwhelmed, which we all do, I always stop and feel my breath and remember that no matter where I'm going, I have to enjoy being here now, which means being in this breath now. Um, and then when I go to bed at night, I always look back and think how my day went. So, you know, I think people have a misperception that it's not a good thing to have a bad day or to be down, or even people label depression as a bad thing. But I found I've done a lot of my best work, and I found myself in the deepest ways when I've had these down times. Because when we're flying high, we don't take time to reflect. We're high, we're soaring, we're moving fast, and then when something hits us and we have to stop, sometimes the hit is that your soul wants to evolve to the next level, and you're still here. And so we sometimes, as human beings, we don't stop, we don't hear God, we keep going until something like, it's like nudge, 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 stop. And we're like, oh shit, why did that happen? That's terrible. And so um I just think, during times of challenge is having amazing people that feel your soul, that you can trust, having loving self-care rituals, loving yourself, listening to yourself. And I pray a lot. I pray a lot. I mean, I pray all the time, constantly. And I believe my life is a prayer. So those things all help me get through challenging times. And I've had many of them, but I use them to make me better. So
Mayma, what does a better world look like through your eyes?
so many things. A better world looks like a world where we can really see each other. I feel like a lot of times people, when I watch people, and a lot of my time is spent alone, believe it or not, because I'm a creator, so I need to have my alone time. But when I watch people and I'm out, um, a lot of people are living in a space of, you know, they have these boundaries around them and they don't want to get hurt, so they kind of hurt other people, or they manipulate or do things, or they don't let themselves be seen. So for me, a better world is, being a person that loves people and can see their truth of who they are, and helps them to be more authentic and to realize their passions and their purpose, and to help them to create something that doesn't exist, the thing that God put them here to do. So anybody that I meet that lets me into their lives, my goal is that they'll be better off knowing me because I was in their life, that I gave them love, support, authentic friendship, and you know what, in that when they're at the end of their life and they're thinking of people that help them to grow and to, become their own unicorn, they'll think of me. So I just think it's really important to me to, again, help people to see the best of themselves in the ways that I can do that. And last but not least, to create a legacy for the next generation of people coming, young people and leaders, young leaders, and to give them the tools they need. In a way, sometimes I want to kind of eradicate the way we live sometimes, in a sense, or I think right now people are so thinking about how life should be this way and that way. I want to help young people think about how life should be from their perspective, not from ours, and to design life on their own terms. And so young people and helping them to create their own legacies on their own terms is really important to me as well. And to me, that is the ultimate way of creating a better world.
Fantastic. Mayma, how can our audience connect with you, find you, follow you, speak with you?
So I have a lot of different platforms. So I'll just give you the one that has everything under one umbrella. And you won't forget this because it's mayma.com. So go to mayma.com and you can find me there. That's my website. And it links to all my other sites. My coaching site, my PR marketing and strategy business, my consulting and supporting GovCons. That I do that work as well. My author page, all that's under that MEMA umbrella. And my nonprofit work links from that page as well. They can find me on Twitter at guess what, MEMA. They can find me on Instagram at MEMA Carmo, and they can find me on Facebook at MEMA Carmo Official.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
so
for
much.
having me. This was lovely.
Thank you for being a part of our global initiative to spotlight good work, good beings, love, compassion, empathy, and community building. I really appreciate you for being in my life as well. All these years, over a decade now, true friendship and sisterhood. And the work that you do, the work that we're all aspiring to do, hopefully will touch some lives, save some lives, and move into the future generations, as you said.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. For those that are tuning in, please nominate yourself or someone in your community who's making an impact. If you would like a live demo to see what's inside Nebula, our online hub and community for conscious leaders who are doing great things to create great social impact, please visit nebula.soar, S-O-A-R, communitynetwork.com, nebula.soarcommunitynetwork.com. Thank you so much. We will talk to you real soon. Take care.